Like, today you're gonna see why I cannot have nice things, because if they're all white, they're gonna get dirty. Hello there! So today we're here to talk about XX Revolution skincare. This has been video in the making for a while. Why is that? Because I wasn't even sure anyone wants to hear this, and I'm still not. But I thought that since this is just a very few products they have that can be classified as skincare, and it's not Revolution skincare, I should maybe give them like a little bit of space on their own. So today we're here to talk about 4 products from XX Revolution skincare range. There are a few things to note about the XX Revolution. Of course, it is like a sister brand of Makeup Revolution, to be expected from the name. I remember this one was founded a while back now, and it was kind of like a Gen Z oriented. It was a little weird at the beginning. Then they started doing like some really nice things. The initial launch, I was not impressed at all. Then gradually, as they introduced new products and kind of like innovative things, I was a little bit more into them. And now I don't really care, but these products kind of caught my eye, that's why I got them, and that's why we're here today. These products in particular are all cruelty-free and vegan. All of these products are a little bit like Korean skincare inspired. One of them was actually even made in Korea. The rest was made in the UK. Now, one thing to note is that they are a little bit more pricey than your like average Revolution skincare products. That's also why I kind of felt like I might like them a little bit more, because they were like a few products that were very like, they seemed very like well thought through. So I thought, you know what, might as well give them a shot. They seem like something different than doing their own thing. And they also looked a little bit like fancy, They have very sleek white packaging, which I really enjoy. Let's just dive right in, okay? The first thing I'm going to talk about is a cleanser. This is the XX Revolution PHA Super Cleanser. It comes in a very beautiful white, super chubby bottle. I love this packaging so much. You get 250 milliliters of product, which I think is actually a pretty fair amount. It is a lightly foaming gel cleanser. That's what the description says. To me, this is like a very foaming gel cleanser, but it depends on how you use it. But we'll talk about that later. Now, it contains, of course, PHAs, which are a mild exfoliant, and it's supposed to help with pollution defense, which I'm not sure how that works, and also give you that glow, which of course, right, exfoliation. Of course, it is not super effective to exfoliate your face with a cleanser, but there is nothing wrong about having, PHA in your cleanser. A lot of brands have those cleansers. A lot of those are actually very good cleansers, so I don't really see anything too fishy about that. Of course, if you want your skin to be like properly chemically exfoliated, you're going to use like a different product, right? It is alcohol-free and fragrance-free, and it does contain hyaluronic acid, PHAs, glycerin, and also panthenol. So in theory, this should be like a not very stripping, foamy cleanser that should leave your face hydrated, but provide you with a little bit of that extra exfoliation and apparently pollution defense. So the thing for me is that this is like way too foamy. Like, this makes bubbles on your face. It was very hard for me to show you on the clip, but trust me, when I wash my face with this, it is insane. Now, if you apply it to a dry face or to just like a little bit damp face, it's fine. But if you're in the shower, you have wet face, you put this on with your wet hands, like that thing is gonna make bubbles for days. So that's one thing that's really annoying to me. I cannot really use it like that. Yeah, so texture-wise, it's not really my favorite. It is fine, it doesn't irritate my skin or anything, but it doesn't really leave my skin hydrated either. My skin feels pretty like, not really stripped, but kind of dry, like not very taken care of, Some cleansers, when you use them, they really leave your face like nice and hydrated. Like you didn't even almost wash it. It just feels fine. It feels like in its natural state where it should be. It doesn't feel irritated or stripped or raw or anything. This is kind of on like the edge of being like uncomfortably dry when I wash my face. And I think the foaminess might be a little bit of a reason for that. But I cannot really say anything bad about it besides these things that are mostly like my personal problem with the texture and with like a lather. So if you don't mind that, if you like your cleansers to be very foamy, I wouldn't say it's a bad cleanser at all. Basically everyone for this price tag can get a cleanser that's like more suitable to their skin. And if I were to buy a cleanser, I surely wouldn't buy this one again. Now let's move on to a product I did already talk about on this channel, but I feel like this one deserves even more attention. So this is the XX Revolution SPF Defense Serum. This is one of my favorite SPF 30 sunscreens I've ever used. It is actually incredible. It comes again in a very sleek serum packaging. You have a pump and you get 30 milliliters of product, which is very standard. It also promises you protection from not only UV rays, but also blue light and pollution. Again, it was like a whole thing with this collection. And it is basically like a gel serum with SPF 30 and some antioxidants. It does have broad spectrum protection and it is like purely a chemical sunscreen, which means that you should, let it sit a little for like 20-30 minutes when you apply it so it can react with your skin and provide you with that, promised protection. It is also fragrance-free and alcohol-free, which is very nice. So there is a big chance it's not going to irritate your skin, which is great. And it does contain a lot of different ingredients like vitamin E, hyaluronic acid, glycerin, squalane, panthenol, and shea butter, which is quite low in the ingredients list though, so I assume it's only for the texture purpose, so it's a little bit creamy. What I really like about this is that it's almost like invisible the moment it touches your skin. So you just put it on your hands, you kind of rub it in and it's gone. It's like invisible. It's so good. It's incredibly lightweight. It sinks right in. It's not scented. It doesn't it's not even there. That's why I really like it, that it doesn't disrupt anything on top or beneath. So it's very easy to combine with other things and to just use it repeatedly. Like reapplication is no problem with this formula. I just really like what they did there with the texture and I'm a big fan of this. The only thing that I don't like is the cap, because it's like it doesn't even hold there. It's like the cap doesn't really hold there, which is very annoying. But besides that, this is really one of my favorite SPF 30 sunscreens. It doesn't leave any residue, any cast, anything. It's like it was never there, but you're still protected. So I'm a big fan of this SPF, and if you can get your hands on it, I would definitely, and I think it's totally worth even the price tag. And if you want to watch me rave about it even more, you can check out the SPF video where I, give you even more information on it. Next product we have is a little bit weird, I would say. This is the one that's actually manufactured in South Korea. And this is the XX Revolution Hydra Slick, what's it called? The Hydra Slick Moisturiser Melt. This, of course it caught my attention because it sounds a little bit odd. It again comes in a beautiful white sleek packaging, and it is exactly what it says. It's a moisturizer in a form of a balm. So when you open it up, you have like a hard balm that you can scoop up and then warm up, and it's basically like this oily, emollient, but very lightweight kind of moisturizer. It's a very interesting product, and the reviews are actually pretty positive on this one, and it's nothing like I've seen before for sure, so I was very intrigued to get it. But let's dig into the details first. It is alcohol free as well, but it is fragranced, and you can tell straight from the get-go that this is fragranced. It's not like super overpowering, and I don't mind that, but if you're very irritated by fragrance, I would beware. Of course, then the ingredients, which are actually astonishing. You have niacinamide, you have centella, you have argan oil, vitamin E, green tea extract. You have different barrier repairing ingredients, glycerin, squalane, hyaluronic acid, different oils, beta-glucan, which is also a very known hydrating ingredient, allantoin and coconut oil, and you also have wax. So you can see that there's a lot of these star ingredients that are really good for your skin for all different reasons, but you also have a lot of emollients, which are probably the reason of the texture, together with the wax. So now you really have to decide for yourself, are my pores worth it or not? Because my pores are very easily clogged, and putting on a moisturizer with coconut oil and waxes, it's kind of, I'm on the fence. Every time I want to use it, I'm a little bit on the fence. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff underneath when I'm about to use it, so I'm not that scared that it's going to clog my pores. It's very interesting and very unique. I'm not necessarily in love with it at all, because the texture is just, it's very hard to find a use case for it. It is kind of oily, but the oiliness doesn't stick with you. So it's not like I would use it at night and in the morning I would wake up nice and plump and still kind of from that balm because it's so oily. Not at all. So it does kind of sink in, but the initial application is pretty oily. So in the summer, you kind of sweat it off immediately if you're me. And in the winter, it's not quite enough. And through the day, I don't really feel like applying anything oily on my skin because, you know, it's going to be sitting there for a long time. I'm going to put makeup on top. Is it going to work well with the makeup? So I'm a little bit just on the fence of like, when should I use this? And I have not really found a good use case. I'm mostly using it in the evening anyway, but it's just kind of a bizarre product. So maybe if you are looking for something like this, like the balmy texture, that oily feel, but not oiliness for a long time, and like actually some very nice ingredients, this could be good for you. I think it's a very unique product. That's why I wanted to talk about it. So you should probably go read some reviews and see what other people maybe with your skin type think about it, because I'm honestly not sure who is this for, but I don't dislike it, but I also don't love it. I guess it's just kind of like, meh. And the last but not least, this is the XX Revolution Overnight Recovery Cream. This is my holy grail, my tried and true, my most favorite night cream ever to exist. I'm not even kidding, this is my third bottle or cup or whatever you are. So this one is an overnight cream with prebiotics. And it's supposed to like calm the skin down, soothe it, you know, help the barrier and stuff like that. It is not too heavy, it's super nice. It's like this just light creamy texture, but it doesn't sink in overnight completely, so you don't wake up like totally dry, but it's not like sitting on top of your skin. It's just like the middle ground. It's just perfect when it comes to texture and how much it sinks. That's why I like it the most. It also doesn't contain any like weird ingredients. It is alcohol-free and fragrance-free, which is always nice. We have vitamin E, we have hyaluronic acid, we have glycerin, panthenol, shea butter, again for the texture probably, and then some different emollients and fructose, which actually binds water. So those are all some pretty cool ingredients. So there's nothing there to really dislike. It's just a very simple moisturizer that's going to kind of benefit your skin, but not be overly like full of actives, and you don't really have to worry about combining it with other things, which is what I like the most. So this is one of the moisturizers I reach for literally on the daily. This like third bottle I think is like almost gone. There's like pretty much nothing in the packaging. So I think I'll just have to buy another one because I just like it so much. I like that it's not too heavy. It doesn't clog my pores. You get 50 milliliters of product, which is fair. It is not super cheap, but I would say it's definitely worth it. I cannot really explain like properly why I like it more than other night creams I have, but this one definitely just has something that makes me so comfortable when using it that I just have to keep coming back to it. So yeah, if you didn't get it yet, if you need something from these products, it's probably the SPF and the night cream. I would say those are definitely my favorite, and not only from this range, like my favorite from the Revolution products for sure, and my favorites among these categories as well. So yeah, so this was the Revolution skincare. Like, is it something you cannot miss out on? Not really. I wouldn't say that it's necessary that you try these out, but I vouch for that sunscreen and that night cream. Those are just, but other than that, I think you can do better. So yeah, I would say that is it. So those were 4 XX Revolution skincare products. I hope I kind of helped you if you were curious, how are these? So now you know, at least my opinion on them. So thank you very much for watching, consider subscribing, and if you want to see more videos where I talk about different drugstore skincare, you can check out the playlist. See ya!